Okay, let's get started. Now we are discuss about the Poetics by Aristotle, part 26. The question may be raised whether the epic or tragic mode of imitation is the higher. If the more refined art is the higher, and the more refined in every case is that which appeals to the better sort of audience. The art which imitates anything and any everything is manifestly most unrefined. The audience is supposed to be too dull to comprehend unless something for their own is thrown in by the performers, who therefore indulge in restless moments. Band flute players, twist and trill. If they have to represent the code through or hustle the chorus, when they perform the Scylla tragedy is that tragedy its set has the same defect. We may compare the opinion that the older actors entertained of their successors. Mine is yes. Used to call co-lipid up on account of the extravagance of his action, and the same view was held of Pindarus. Tragic art then as a whole stands to epic in the same relation as the younger to the elder actors. So we are told that epic poetry is addressed to a cultivated audience who don't need gesture. Tragedy to an inferior public being then unrefined, it's evidently the lower of the two. No, in the first place, this censure attaches not to the epic but to the historic art. For gesticulations may be equally overdone in epic recitations as by the saucy stretchers or in lyrical competition as by Menasithius. The Opetians. Next, all action is not to be condemned by any more than all dancing, but only that of bad reformers. Such was the flute found in the Khalidias, as also in other of our own day, who are censured for representing regarded women. Again, tragedy, like epic poetry, produce its effect on without action. It reveals its power by more reading, if then in all other respects its superior. This fault, we say, is not inherent in it and superior. It is because it has all the epic elements. It may even use the epic meter with the music and spectacular effect as important accessories, and these produce the most vivid of pleasures. Further, it has vividness of impression in reading as well as in representations. Moreover, the art attains its end within narrow limits. For the concentrated effect is more pleasurable than one which is spread over a long time and so deleted. What what for more example would be the effect of the Oedipus of Sophocles if it were cast into a form as long as the Iliad. Hence, more the epic imitation has less unity, as in shown by this that any epic poem will furnish subjects for several tragedies. Thus, if the story adopted by the poet has a strict unity, it must either be concisely told and appears truncated, or if it conform to the epic of length, it must seem weak and watery. Such length implies some loss of unity. If I mean the poem is constructed out of several actions, like the Iliad and the Odyssey, which have many such parts, such with a certain magnitude effects on, yet those poems are as perfect as possible in structure. Each is in the highest degree attainable or an imitation of a single action. If then tragedy is superior to epic poetry in all those respects and moreover fulfills its specific functions better as an art, for such art ought to produce not any chance pleasures but the pleasure proper to it. As already stated, it plainly follows that tragedy is the higher art, as attaining its end more perfectly. Thus much may suffice concerning tragic and epic poetry in general. There are several kinds in thoughts with the number of each and their differences. The cause that make a poem good or bad, thus a objection of the critics and the answer to these objections. Okay, do like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.